Okay, welcome back. So, I went out and harvested these 6 pieces of roofing from the collapsed barn that's way out that way. This barn is completely, this roof is completely built, and now I'm putting the roofing on here. So these are actually 12-foot pieces, and my roof is 10 feet. I thought they were 10 feet. So that's okay. It's just gonna hang off a foot on either side. I'll put them all on, put the roof up. A little overhang's okay. If it catches the wind and it starts flapping and I feel like it's messing with the structural integrity, I'll go back and cut them. I tend to not like to cut things unless I have to, because as you can see, I can reuse stuff. So I try not to cut things until it's absolutely necessary. So I'm gonna lay out these other 5 pieces, screw them in. So I'm doing the same thing I did, making sure it was centered when I did these trusses, is I will fold it in half over the top, screw each end, and then screw up at the peak, and then work my way in between. Mostly because I want to make sure it's going on square and not all twarpy, right? So yeah, we're just gonna do the rest of these, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna lift these off. Getting a little late start today because I'll show you what I did. So my partner in crime opened up a huge area for the animals, which was great because the more they graze on grass, the less we need to get hay. But she roped my Jeep in, and so I had no way of getting out. So I took my chainsaw real quick, took a little hiatus, and I made myself a path. Now, it's hard to tell because it looks so path-like, but this was like that or like that before. So I cut a path. I need a couple more to make it a little bit neater, and then I go up this way. Now, what I found here is some old barbed wire fencing. So this is, the cows used to go to here. I was talking to the neighbor. So even though my property keeps going that way, this is where the cows came, and it's nice because it's kind of a backup. Now, I don't tend to use barbed wire because that just creates more problems sometimes. But if these guys get out, I have a backup fence system, because I'd rather them get zinged by the barbed wire and get a little cut than end up on the road and get hit by a truck. So even though the road is a little distance that way, you know, animals do what they're not supposed to do. So let's see how the rest of this roofing goes, and then I will give you full footage of me trying to get this damn roof on top of this guy. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so now we're gonna move the roof to the end of the house, and I'm gonna see if I can lift it up just one rib at a time without the thing breaking and falling on me. And then once it's up there, I'll drive the Jeep in to do final adjustments, and then we'll zing it in. Let's see how it goes. Let's hope I don't kill myself. Okay, not sure why I thought that was gonna work, but made for good video, me being an idiot. So next stage is I'll actually do what I did on the other house over there, is I'll tilt the whole house onto its back. I'll attach the roof, and then I'll pull it back onto its feet. So let's see how that works. lined up. Top corners are on scraps of wood so that they all line up. And then I'm just putting a long screw in every single one, and that'll hold it on pretty well once they're all in. But I'm going to move you around. Where was I? I got that one. All right, so that is on there. I may go around and hit them with a second longer one that goes more vertically up, but if I feel like it's going to be a problem. So now what I need to do is pull this puppy onto its feet, tighten those carriage bolts right here, and then maybe put another diagonal in there, and maybe another, diagonal here. Although now with the roof on, it's pretty solid. Okay, so I gotta cut these like a ski on all four. And then, see, let me show you. Oh, what I got to do, I got to get more screws because I ran out, so it's not screwed to the last guy here. They're not held onto that, so I got to screw them into that. Probably easier to do that when it's on its side, but that's it. That's my barn. I'll get a strap and show you guys what I do to pull it up with the Jeep. It's gonna be actually hard here because I don't have a lot of room to back up. Oh, that doesn't look super square, does it? Well, that's because there's nothing holding it square on this bottom here. But it'll be on the ground. And I haven't tightened any of those carriage bolts up. That'll help a little bit, but I don't want to put anything to square it up down the bottom because the horses will trip on it. So stay tuned. Okay, we're tied up. I'm gonna back the Jeep up, tip it until it's at sort of its breaking point. I'm gonna brace it with a board. Actually, I'm gonna bring it back so it's a little beyond its breaking point. So it wants to fall that way, and I'm gonna support it, and then untie it, go around the other way, tie it back up to the Jeep, and then remove the brace, and then slowly lower it with the Jeep. Now, it's raining, it's getting dark. Part of me wants to just let that go and see what happens. But part of me knows if I just let it go, that's a lot of strain and the thing might fall apart. And that's a lot of work because I'm being lazy. All right, I braced the back, sort of. I'm gonna lower it, see if that brace will hold it. Then I'm gonna throw those straps over the top, or maybe just through. Yeah, let's see. at some point, and I'll find out while I'm editing, my handy dandy tripod fell over. So you didn't get the grand finale of me bringing the house back onto its feet. But suffice to say, it made it. It's not on level ground, but it's dry. And once I'll do some more squaring, because it kind of got yanked a little bit as I was putting it down, but it's yeah, we're gonna call that a success.